A big win, but not necessarily a big loss. I'll explain. Locked On Women's Basketball starts now.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Locked On Women's Basketball. I'm your host, Howard Megdal, and I want to thank you for making us your first listen every day. Over 350,000 of you showed up last month alone the way we show up for you, not just 6 days a week, but on a team-by-team basis now in places like the Minnesota Lynx, the Las Vegas Aces, and so many more. Tony East holding it down with the Fever, Golden State Valkyries as well. Make sure you subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts for free. And if you want to support all the work that's being done across the board at thenexthoops.com, make sure you subscribe. $9 a month, $72 a year. It'll all just get sent right to your inbox. Join us today. Ton of things to get to around the league. We're going to focus a lot on the Dallas Wings win over the New York Liberty, 92-82. It's a big win for the Wings. I don't think it matters in terms of a loss for the Liberty. Liberty may not agree, but we'll get into both of those things. First, we're going to talk about a win that we can't let pass. Winning in Minnesota as the road team, not a thing anybody had done this year until the Atlanta Dream came along and won 90-86 over Minnesota. Ahead of a big game coming up tomorrow night, Minnesota and New York. I have a full show on that with our Terry Horstman, talking to Jackie Powell about it. But first, here's Terry out of the game, the loss to Atlanta.
What's up, Locked On Women's Basketball? This is your Minnesota Lynx beat reporter, Terry Horstman, checking in from a still very bustling Target Center here in Minneapolis, where the Lynx just tasted defeat in their first regular season game at home so far in the 2025 season at the hands of the Atlanta Dream, who won 90-86. The Dream could have put this one away much sooner. They had a 13-point lead with just about 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Furious rally from the Lynx comes up just short, and they end up losing by that final score of 90-86. Napheesa Collier did make some history tonight with a final line of 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. She now joins Maya Moore, tied for Lynx history with 3 such games of 30-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists in her career. She obviously would have preferred the win, but wasn't in the cards tonight. The Lynx will be back here on Wednesday night against the defending champs, New York Liberty.
Again, anytime you can just say, she joins Maya Moore, that's a big deal. Doesn't matter how that sentence ends, just a remarkable thing. Again, I want to talk to Atlanta, and we'll get to it in a second, but it wasn't just 32 points. It was 32 points on 14 for 18 from the field, made 2 over 3 threes, 4 steals, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, couple of block shots. I said before the season, Napheesa Collier was my MVP. I've said it throughout the season. I don't have a different opinion now. Napheesa Collier is the MVP of the WNBA. If I'm voting today, I don't have to vote for another 6-7 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Napheesa Collier. So anyway, huge win for Atlanta. You go and you look and you think at different times, the different vibes. Who do you not want to play in the playoffs? You definitely don't want to play Minnesota in the playoffs. I know they're 0 for their last 1 at home. They were 14-0 at home before that. You don't want to have to face Minnesota. And if the season ended today, and they're actually 4 games clear, 3 of the loss column of the New York Liberty, they'd have home court in every single series if it came to that. You don't want to play the New York Liberty for reasons we're going to get into in a little later in the show, despite the loss to Dallas. You sure don't want to play the Atlanta Dream. And yeah, they're 5-5 in their last 10. been treading water after that really strong start. Atlanta can beat anybody, anywhere. It's a really impressive team. So we're going to talk more about just kind of the parity here. And Dallas is a great example of it, the parity across the league. But did the Winds figure something out with Paige Bueckers and Arike Ogunbowale? It's worth talking about. So back with a lot more. I'm Howard Megdal. You're listening to Locked On Women's Basketball. But first, Locked On Women's Basketball is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Now it is time to fuel up and turn it up with a 5 Hour Energy transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite drink when you're golfing into the quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies, well, I wish I was sinking birdies, but I do like to golf. 5 Hour Energy will help you do it. Make memories with friends making light of my golf game. This one's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Golf is all about the good times with good people and good flavors, of course. Grape ginger lime flavor gives you the best part of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the beverage cart. If you go to number 5 Hour Energy today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com. You can use promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5 Hour Energy shots today. Howard Megdal here, Locked On Women's Basketball. Back here in segment 2, talking about the Winds, the Dallas Winds. And yes, if the season ended today, Dallas would not be in the playoffs. They are, in fact, 5 games out, 6 in the loss column when it comes to the playoffs if it ended today. Washington Mystics right now in the 8th seed, half a game ahead of Golden State. But that's not really what this year is about for Dallas. What this year is about for Dallas is figuring out what they have in Paige Bueckers and what fits around Paige Bueckers. A lot of rookies, and we've talked about it on the show. You have some people still in rookie scale deal. Maddie Siegrist should be back soon. Do Paige and Arike Ogunbowale work together or not? I don't think there's a bigger question to be asked. You ask people around the league, I don't think there's a bigger question on people's minds. Dallas is certainly doing everything they can to figure it out. Out of all their 2-person lineups, that one has the most minutes, 168 of them. The early returns were not great. They are a net rating of minus 3.1 so far this season. That's not playoff caliber. Now, there's a lot of noise in that surrounded by who surrounds them. But you also just needed this sense of, all right, what can they be together? And in the last 3 games, we've seen some together that makes a lot of sense. Over the last 3, Paige, 17 a game, 50% of her shots, 38.5% of her threes going down. Always a great free throw shooter, 89%. 5.3 assists, 2.7 steals, only 1.3 turnovers. Arike, similarly efficient in her last 4 now. 20, 18, 16, and 20 points. Hitting about half her shots. Last night, Monday night, 14 assists in a win over New York. It was missing Breanna Stewart, but that's a win over the New York Liberty. So let's hear from them. Let's hear from both Arike and Paige after the game about what happened and why.
And then go to coach to open questions for Paige and Arike. Fine.
This is for both Paige and Arike. Y'all have really been playing well together the last few games. What do you feel like has been contributing to just the chemistry on the court?
I think it's more communication. We made it a point to just communicate with each other more. Pick each other up if we, ever see something going on. But I think just building that relationship and that chemistry and knowing that, we're kind of two leads on this team and a lot of stuff goes through us. So we have to be on the same page and we've been really intentional about it.
For Paige, what did you see in that first quarter? You guys had a heck of a start, great start. What did you see in that first quarter?
Yeah, we were just trying to have a fast start and come out strong, deflect and make everything hard for them on defense, and then get out in transition and run and attack and be on the aggressive end on offense. And so we were moving the ball, we were getting good shots within our offense, and then we were making catches difficult. We were reading some, and we were good in our rotations on defense. So we were proud of the start.
This is for Arike. You have 14 assists, career high. That also means that team was clicking. Just talk about, I know you talked about you and Paige's chemistry, but just talk about the overall chemistry of the team and just you as an overall guard.
Yeah, I think in us simplifying the offense, we kind of know where each other's going to be now. And we're building that chemistry where, we know where our fours are going to be, our fives, the rest of the guards on the court, and just learning each other. I think just day by day, we're learning each other and building that with all 11 players. And I think that's showing on the court.
Arike, feels like it's been a pretty good stretch for you coming out of the All-Star break. I feel like anything's been different that has allowed you to string together these games?
Yeah, just my teammates. They always have my back, regardless of what happened in the first half. We've been looking at it as if, this is a new season, new start, scratch everything that happened, and just move on from that. And, that's what I've been doing. That's what the team's been doing. And we just focus on the present.
Paige, what's going through your mind in the fourth quarter when it seems to be snowballing a bit? They seem to be able to get to the line several possessions in a row. What's going through your mind as you want to stop that run?
Yeah, play the possession. We couldn't really get any shots to go in, so we had to rely on our defense. And at the beginning of the quarter, they were getting out in transition, getting easy buckets, getting to the free throw line. So we just tightened up defensively. And then their zone kind of slowed us down, so we got a little stagnant. So we were trying to change sides of the floor, get into the middle of the zone, attack, and not let it slow us down. But we were also trying to run time off the clock. So a mix of that and just relying on our defense and just gutting it out, basically.
Paige, in what areas have you seen your game grow from the beginning of the season till now?
Truly, I think the way that I make everybody around me, try to make everyone around me better, and be a voice. I think I've grown more confidence in being a leader and talking and communicating, calling huddles, just always having something to say, something to always coach on the floor. And so just really, I think using my voice, and my teammates have done a great job of being receptive to it. Even though I'm a rookie, we all just want to win. So all of our voices matter.
Great.
Arike, it seems you've developed a strong connection with Louisa, especially when you're drawing two and hitting her as a relief option. Just what does she bring that makes her an effective offensive player?
Yeah, I think she brings that European swag. She's really smart, really savvy. She just makes the right reads. And obviously, she's a rookie, but she's older. She's been playing pro for a while. So she's a really smart player. And I think we all trust her, to make the right decision. And we've had a pretty good two-man game, and it's been really effective.
Kind of building off of that, Paige, Louisa hit some shots. She had a big game offensively tonight. We've seen Lee do the same thing. How much of a difference does it make for the offense when one of those bigs can step out with those shots?
Yeah, it just makes teams have to guard them. It's a floor spacer. It allows for, if teams double me and Reek, they can get easy pop threes or easy roll downs for a mid-range jumper or a layup. And so it just opens up and widens our offense to be able to get more driving lanes as well. And it just creates more opportunities for everybody else to get open.
So just a really good example, Louisa in particular, of somebody who is excelling in ways that are allowing Dallas to be more competitive. 56.4% from the field over her last five. That includes 38.4% from three, and she's taken more than 4 attempts from deep per game. Really matters really makes a difference. And here for Kurt Miller in year one, so much of this is about figuring out how to make this all work. It's one of the luxuries. Paige signs a rookie scale deal. I mean, she signed for 3 years with a 4th-year option. Gives the Winds time, even though they have to figure out off the court too, because you got to keep Paige happy. You also, at the same time, need to figure out how to put Paige in a position to win. Some real good indications here that the Winds have begun to do that. They're not going to have to make the playoffs for this to be a successful season. They just need to figure out what the game plan looks like around Paige Bueckers. Could it be Arike? Last few games, and I would argue with the first evidence that could be. They don't have to. She'll be a free agent, like 80% of the league, give or take. But it'll be interesting to see whether she changes the thinking, the conventional wisdom thinking around this. We'll leave it at that. Much more to come. Want to talk about the New York Liberty, a loss they had, why it doesn't matter. Back after this, I'm Howard Megdal. You're listening to Locked On Women's Basketball. Howard Megdal, Locked On Women's Basketball. New York Liberty lost to the Dallas Wings, 92-82. Had a 40-minute post-game meeting. Clearly, they're upset. They were upset Saturday night. LA played great. They were on the second half of a back-to-back. The Liberty were. Still stormed back. Lost 101-99, an absolute circus shot at the buzzer. And they were mad. They were not happy. They're really not happy when they lose. And maybe that's normal for a defending champion. Let's hear what they had to say about it. And then, and I can't stress this enough, I'm going to come back and explain to you why this just did not matter.
Okay, just a few questions. But to start, obviously, like, you guys were in the locker room for a while after that game. What was said? What was the message? Who all spoke up?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, this has been going on for a few games. We haven't started off well, so we just had a team meeting, so.
Do you feel like the way that the game started, and especially maybe Sandy and Sabrina, the way that the game started, was that more of like an indictment on like the players and what type of effort was put, or was it on like the coaching staff and preparing the team for this game?
Yeah. I mean, it's never on the coaching staff, right? Like, we're the ones that go out and play. So, I mean, we're a team full of leaders that are always going to take accountability for the way that we come out. And, you know, I mean, I think we were just kind of passive, waiting to see what they were going to do instead of being able to be on our front foot and in attack mode. And I think it's kind of a game we can use to learn about what happens when we come out that passive and just kind of rushed, like not being able to trust our offense and defense, and we just got to use it to propel us forward.
Hey, it's Sandy. So, second straight game over 30 points alone in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Sparks at 36, and I believe that was at 31. Just from the film last game and tonight, what you've seen, that's kind of.
Oh, it's an effort thing. It's just our, you know, how we come out of the gate, and you know, we're not competing at a high level. And we've got to get back to playing what we know we're capable of, like in the second half, but we can't, I don't know, you know, complacency, they're on a back-to-back, so there's no excuse. So we've got to dig a little bit deeper, and, you know, we have to take a little bit more pride in the defensive area. It doesn't matter that we have players out, everyone does, so we've just got to be more committed to that side of the ball and not allow our offense dictate our defense.
JJ, I mean, to be down 30 points is the biggest deficit you guys have dug yourselves in this season. And we've seen like secondhand comebacks from this team, but I guess how do you describe the first like 25 minutes of this game? Is it embarrassing? Is it frustrating? What word would you use?
All of those words you just used. Embarrassing, frustrating, a bit disappointing because we know the level of play that, you know, that we hold ourselves to and the caliber of play that we played at in the past. Just like Sabrina said, use it as a learning opportunity and come out the next game and not do it because it's been happening for a few games now.
I get it. And these are champions. These are the defending champion New York Liberty. Sabrina won a championship last year. Jonquel not only won a championship, she was the finals MVP last year. She took her son within an eyelash, if you remember, in 2019 to winning a championship. Sandy Brondello is a champion several times over. And I get it. Dallas on the second half of back-to-back and you're down 30 to them. You have a post-game meeting to talk about it. It all is understandable. It all makes sense that they'd be upset. They don't need to be upset. They don't need to be upset. They played this game. Everyone is missing people. Without Breanna Stewart. They have redefined the offense around Point Stewie. We've talked about this on the podcast. Now suddenly, and Stewie does, as you may have noticed, a couple other things on the court too. And suddenly she's not there. The offense is going to have a little bit of a dip as a result of that. By the way, still a rating of over the last 6 games, 106.5 net rating on offense. Offensive rating, I should say, not net rating. The net rating is not good for the reasons that they talked about. But Stewie, by all reports, has avoided serious injury, will be back soon. Emma Meesseman is coming. This is not the team that they're going to have in 2 weeks, let alone the team they're going to have come playoff time. It just has no relationship to the team that they expect to have when they go about winning a championship. And no, you can't turn on a switch, and they should hold each other accountable. I mean, listen to Sabrina when Sandy talks about the coaching staff, and immediately, right? It's never on the coaching staff. And just taking responsibility. It's a huge part of why they've been a championship team. But this team on the defensive end, LA got too many easy shots. Dallas got way too many easy shots for all that we're talking about. The reason why I went back 3-4 games with Dallas is they didn't face New York's top defensive effort, to put it mildly. So there's still more to see to prove Paige and Arike work the way they do. But New York is going to get Breanna Stewart back soon, who's a tremendously important defensive player. Emma Meesseman, who's a really good defensive player, more length that all goes along with it. You play better defense off of made baskets. Offense is fine on the season. Offense is exceptional. Defense also has been exceptional. New York's second in the league, offensive rating, third in the league in defensive rating so far this year. By the way, Minnesota is still first and first. Anyone who's not viewing Minnesota as the favorite to win it all right now, I don't know what we're doing. Not saying they're a shoo-in. Minnesota's not a favorite to win it all the way Fee is a favorite to win the MVP, just so we're clear. That's not what I mean. It's not to that level. But who are you picking over Minnesota right now? And then that just gets to the other part of it, the part that relates to Atlanta. This is the part that does matter. New York is 17-8 going into Minnesota. Phoenix is a game behind, 16-9. New York went out and beat them, but they're still right there. Atlanta's 15-10. Couple of teams right there within striking distance. So if you want to know why New York called this meeting, the difference between the 2 and the 4 seed in the regular season. Not because we're learning anything right now. I just had this conversation with Jackie Powell when talking about the stories for the week ahead over at the Next. We don't learn anything the last couple of games that are going to be relevant to what New York is going to become playoff time. But you better get it right fast, or playoff lift gets a little bit harder. And you got to maybe go win a game in Atlanta or in Phoenix or in Seattle. So that's our show for today. Tomorrow, I can't wait for this one. Jackie Powell hosting, Terry Horstman the guest, talking about Minnesota, New York. A game with a lot of juice I'm really looking forward to. You can be sure they are looking forward to in Minnesota as well. Cheryl Reeve asked today what she thought of Emma Meesman's decision. She made the wrong choice. A lot of juice in that one. Very excited for it. Until then, I am Howard Megdal, wishing all of you a wonderful Tuesday.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.